structure and development of Megasporangium. So here as we know that in angiospermic flowers the male reproductive structures and the female reproductive structures are present. The female reproductive structures are called as gynoecium. So let us start with the first one, the structure of pistil or the structure of gynoecium. Gynoecium is considered to be the female reproductive structures present in angiospermic flowers, and in the gynoecium individual units are called as pistil or carpels. Individual parts are called as carpels, and here if you take one example of an angiospermic plants, how many carpels we can expect to be there means it depends upon the nature. So that is a number of carpels may be ranging from 1 to many. So based on that we can say monocarpellary condition to multicarpellary condition. So monocarpellary means single carpel is present in the gynoecium of one flower, and if it is multicarpellary, so multicarpellary means many carpels are present in the gynoecium of single flower. And if multicarpellary, or we can consider from bi to multicarpellary. So if bi to multicarpellary conditions are present, so based on the condition whether the carpels in a flower are fused or free, based on that condition two types are there, one is called syncarpous and other is a apocarpous condition. So before going to that one, first let us see what are the parts which are present in each and every carpel. So if you see the diagrammatic or schematic representation of the carpel, each carpel generally contains 3 parts. So here the uppermost part is called as a stigma. Stigma is the landing place for pollen grains, or it is a receptive site of pollen grains when the germination is taking place. And here the stigma, as we are saying, the receptive site of pollen grains, so there one aspect will be there, that compatibility and incompatibility will be there. So if the pollen grains are compatible, then only the stigma will provide the space for landing of the pollen grains and help in the germination of the pollen grains. If the pollen grains are incompatible, it will not allow the pollen grains to germinate. And below the stigma we can see long and elongated stalk like structure. This part is called as style, and below the style we can see swollen structure that is called as ovary. Swollen basal part of the carpels is called as ovary, inside which we can see the presence of ovules. Or we can say that ovules are enclosed by a protective structure called as ovary, and presence of ovary is the unique feature present in the carpels of angiospermic plants. And these are the 3 basic parts that we can see in the carpel of an angiospermic flower. And as we are discussing that monocarpellary to multicarpellary conditions are present when the carpels are too many, that is bi to multicarpellary conditions are there. How to identify the number of carpels in that gynoecium? And here based on the fusion of carpels, so there are 2 conditions are there, one is called as apocarpous condition and other is called as syncarpous condition. Apocarpous means the carpels are free or they are not united with each other in a gynoecium of single flower, whereas syncarpous means fused condition, that is the carpels which are present in the gynoecium of single flower are fused with each other. It is not compulsory that all the parts of a carpel should get fused. Sometimes some parts, that is ovary, may be fused, carpels, ovary of the carpels may be fused, whereas style and stigma may be free, or sometimes ovaries and styles of fused, stigmas may be free. So that type of condition can be seen. So if you take the example of hibiscus here, that is China rose, here it is actually pentacarpellary in condition, that is 5 carpels are present. So here in the diagrammatic part, so if you observe from outside, we can see only one ovary and one style, but at its apex we can see 5 stigmas. Stigmas are 5, style appears to be 1 and ovary appears to be 1, but actually here 5 ovaries are fused with each other, 5 styles are fused with each other, whereas the 5 stigmas are free. So this is one of the example for syncarpous condition that can be seen in hibiscus. And this type of condition can also be seen in datura flower, where the flowers are bicarpellary in condition. In these flowers, 2 carpels are present, and from outside nowhere it appears to be like a 2 carpelled condition. It appears to be like a single carpelled gynoecium. So why? Because the 2 ovaries are fused, the 2 styles are fused, and also the 2 stigmas are fused. So physically from outside it appears to be like a single carpel, but actually they are 2 carpels which are completely fused with each other. So these are 2 examples where we can see syncarpous condition of the carpels. And in papaver also we can see this type of nature where the styles are fused. They are forming like a appears to be like single structure, but the styles are fused like this. This type of nature, the stigmas are fused and the styles, it appears to be like single structure. This is one other example for syncarpous condition, that is in the papaver plant. So other condition is apocarpous condition, where the carpels of the gynoecium are free or they are not fused with each other. So this type of characters can be seen in plants like in Michaelia and Nilambo, Nymphia like plants. In Michaelia plant, we can see this type of organization of the carpels, and where all the carpels are free from each other. So like this, all the carpels appears to be free from each other. This type of character is called as a apocarpous condition. And in this is a diagram of Michaelia, whereas in Nilambo and Nymphia also the carpels are free from each other, which are multicarpellary and apocarpous in their nature.